Welcome back to In Confidence, where what we share in confidence helps us grow in confidence. I'm so excited because today is the kickoff of our third season. I love saying that out loud. This is season 3. I'm Lisa's son, and this season is a little bit special. It's a little bit different. We're calling it the Last Quarter Challenge. We have 1 quarter left before the finish of the year. And I always think about this time of year as so messy, right? There's things we want to get done before the end of the year. The holidays are coming up. We have to have New Year's intentions. And we want to design this season as a way in which you can feel strong finishing this year and then take that energy into next year. So the way this season works is each week, we're going to introduce a micro moment. We're going to do that on Tuesdays. And it's a quick practice, something that shouldn't take longer than 5 minutes. And then on Fridays, we're going to have a special guest come on to share their life story and expand on this particular micro moment, why it matters, how they do it, how it's changed their lives, and give us some advice on how to do it well. Every single week, the way in which we've designed the challenge is week to week, these small moments ladder up to much bigger change, real change. And I think of it as like if you're lifting a 2-pound dumbbell and then you lift the 5-pound and then the 10-pound. We're just doing reps this season. And the whole idea is by the end of it, you should feel stronger. You should feel like these are things, these tiny things that you can do each week that are a training plan for confidence. So to get our season kicked off, the first micro moment we've chosen is called MVP versus MIP. How have I gotten stronger? And what those acronyms stand for is a real mindset shift from most valuable player to most improved player. Why did we choose this one? Well, one of the things that's always been a sticking point for me is that MVPs, the most valuable player, they usually take up all the oxygen in a room, right? They get the most amount of accolades. The MVP is the one who shines, that's the person that wins big, and they seem to have it all figured out. And I think that the title that truly fuels long-term success is most improved player. And it's the one that every one of us can have. It's available to all of us. And so that's why we've chosen that as our very first micro moment. How do you think about being the most improved player? That's the title you want to win all the time. So in this episode, I'm going to break down 3 things. 1, the science behind this micro moment. 2, how to practice it and the ways in which I'm doing it. And 3, why it can help you. Why is it beneficial? Why is it helpful to all of us? So first, here's the science of most improved player. This is why it matters. We've pulled together a couple of really interesting insights about the science behind progress over perfection. The first one is actually from one of my favorite authors and researchers, Carol Dweck, who wrote an unbelievable book about the growth mindset. And what she shares is people who focus on progress and not perfection, they build resilience and keep going longer. And so this idea of rewarding progress in your life versus always trying to have to be perfect or live up to an external standard. The second piece of science that I found interesting is called neuroplasticity. Every time you recognize an improvement in your own life, you actually reinforce the behavior in your brain neurologically. Your brain actually gets better at noticing growth. So the more you do it, the better at it you get. And Harvard Business Review did an incredible piece called The Progress Principle, that small wins are the single most powerful driver of motivation. So together, when you think about a growth mindset is what gives you the gas in the tank to go long distances, the more you celebrate these small wins, the stronger your brain gets at it. And little wins actually motivate you more than the bigger ones. Together, it says that when we reflect on the progress we've made, it doesn't have to be deep or hard. It could be simple, small, and self-reflective. And even a quick acknowledgement of how you've gotten stronger will build up your confidence muscle. So that's the science behind this micro moment of celebrating being the most improved player. Now, how do you practice this? Well, I always think about each day or week, I take a moment and I pause and I say, for something that's important to me, not necessarily to the external world, but to me, have I gotten stronger? So I'll give you a very simple one, which is I have a puppy. Let's be clear, as background, I don't have plants. I've never had a pet. And last December, my boyfriend and I were talking. He's like, I think you need something to love outside of your work, your family, your friends, your colleagues. Like, you need something that will love you back unconditionally. I do not have a lifestyle built for a puppy. I travel all the time. I'm working all the time. I'm always on. And I thought to myself, well, a puppy is kind of like a 2-year-old toddler that can't advocate for itself and will never grow up. So do I really want this in my life? And in April, I got a puppy. The first 2 months, I had puppy blues. I definitely looked up online, and I know those who have pets will probably hate me for this, looked up online, like, what if I want to give her back? And now it's been 6 months. And the other day, I stepped back and I said, wow, I have gotten really stronger. Like and to the outside world, there's so many people that have dogs. Like, this is not an accomplishment to the outside world. In fact, my friends with dogs are like, you talk about your dog a lot. We don't talk about our dogs that much. And I thought, you know what? But it has taught me how to love something outside of my own circle. It has given me a new sense of discipline. It has given me a new rhythm and schedule in my life. I'm proud of myself that I have become a puppy mom. Like, this is something where I have gotten stronger. I am definitely the most improved player in my own life when it comes to being a dog mom, and I'm really proud of it. Just saying that out loud made me feel good about this. Also, I love my puppy. She's currently actually sitting underneath my podcast chair, so she does come to work with me. I'm hoping she does not bark in this episode. I would also say there have been points in time where I have wanted to give up on something. Like when we wrote our first book, Gravitas, there were definitely points where I had significant self-doubt. And I remember every few weeks, my book collaborator, Kathy, and I would pause and we would say, hey, you know what? Let's turn back around and see how much ground we've covered. You know, oftentimes you're looking at the summit that you don't turn back around to see how much ground you covered. She goes, we've powered through 3 chapters that are phenomenal. Like, as a first-time writer, can we just take a moment and celebrate this small win that, first of all, we've completed them and our editor loved the first half of the book. So I think having those small markers along the way on your way to a goal, just celebrating the little things, I think gives you great joy in knowing that what you want is possible in life. I often find that when you're improving, that improvement can often feel invisible in the moment. So stopping and taking a moment to reflect on the progress you've made, how much stronger you've gotten, that's what sets you up for the long-term wins. There's no way I would have written a book if it hadn't been for those small markers along the way where we would turn back around and would say, wow, look how much we've done. Look how much we've improved against a goal that we really wanted. So in practice, I like having what I call a growth and contribution journal. You know, Adam Grant did this great post that says, gratitude is a good practice. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking a moment every day and being grateful for something. But he said, it can sometimes feel passive, like we're the passive receiver of things, like that we're not being active or we're not in the driver's seat of making those things happen that we're grateful for. So he actually talked about maybe taking a moment and really celebrating something that you feel good about that you've achieved. And so I've been thinking about a growth and contribution journal to go alongside a gratitude practice. So it might be, here are the things I'm grateful for in my life today. But on top of it, how have I gotten stronger? Are there ways in which I've made progress in my life? And I'm going to complement that with my gratitude practice. Every month, I actually take a moment and I reflect back. This time last year, what have I learned and how have I grown? My best friend Jane Bark and I will always call each other and we'll say, oh my gosh, think about this time last year. It's so much better. You're doing this better, or this problem has been resolved, or you're not even thinking about that thing you were worried about a year ago. And it really is a way for me to reward myself for things that aren't visible to the outside world, but I know I am doing better. I've gotten stronger on. My friend Maggie Palmer has this awesome app called Pep Talk Her. If you don't have a journal, where you can actually track these moments of strength and improvement and track your wins. Because when you write down, so it's not just thinking a thought, when you write down how you've gotten stronger, personally, professionally, emotionally, you build a reserve of confidence. It's almost like you have this track record of most improved player awards that you're giving yourself on a regular basis. It's gratitude plus action. It puts a sense of agency behind a gratitude practice. And you can keep it light. I think it's really important not to make it that big a deal. It can be, hey, I handled this tough conversation better than I have in the past, or I went for a walk instead of doom scrolling. I definitely give myself that award. Anytime I find myself doom scrolling, I'm like, okay, I got to move my body or move my mind or have a conversation. Or it could be something like, hey, I finally said no to something that would have depleted my energy, and I'm proud of myself for that. It's a few minutes, it's no pressure, and the goal is just to acknowledge how you've gotten stronger, to give yourself the most improved player award. Now, what I will say is it gets even better when you do it for someone else. And so we have a practice on our team where every once in a while, we'll all share how we've gotten stronger, or I'll share an observation on some of my team, like Claire. I'll say, your emails have gotten so much better. The reason I love this is we often celebrate the MVP. So the MVP is going to get all the limelight. If you can take a moment so that people know that you're recognizing, whether it's in your life, on your team, hey, I see you and I see how hard you're trying. And there's a couple of things I've noticed where you've just gotten better at it. It's not something that's noticeable in terms of like tangible results. It's that I've seen you get better at speaking up in meetings. I've seen you get better at handling that type of problem in the workplace. I've seen you do this better in that difficult conversation with your sister. Just small things. When we can hand out the most improved player to someone else, it creates a ripple effect in their lives. And frankly, it strengthens your own practice of rewarding growth over perfection. This is how we're starting. It's a small step, a light reflection, acknowledging something you're proud of. That's it. Because when we have the MVP title, it's about external validation. It's applause, it's trophies, it's titles. It feels good, but it fades. The most improved player is about internal validation. And it's the award every one of us can win. It's when you have proof of your own progress and it lasts longer, builds resilience, and it compounds. Improvement years do not look glamorous usually, but they're the foundation years that change your trajectory. This first practice is intentionally light. It's a warm-up stretch for this season. We're not diving into the hard stuff yet, but I hope you'll really embrace this idea of giving yourself the most improved player, giving it to others as well. And each week we're going to build on this. From reflection to boundaries to courage to reframing setbacks, by December, these micro moments will add up to a toolkit you can carry into 2026. And it'll help you finish this very busy season with strength and confidence. I hope you loved this episode of In Confidence. I hope you're leaving the space stronger than the way you entered it. If you love this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. In fact, have them be your training plan buddy or your shame buddy. I think everyone, I work out with one of my best friends. We are training buddies. Grab somebody in your life that you want to do these micro moments with. Subscribe so you never miss a moment of inspiration. And until next time, in the words of my 9-year-old self, I see you, I value you, and I believe in you. This is In Confidence.